Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patric Young and Terry Norvelle.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That is the city of Jacksonville. I am one half of the Young and Norvelle Show. I am the young part of it. The old part, the Norvelle part is out today, so I will be hosting. We're going to have some great guests on this Tuesday. We hope it doesn't rain as if it did yesterday. Man, don't you? It's crazy. Sometimes you make plans. And you're like, oh, man, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to go hang out with some friends at this spot. And then you're like, nah, that you see the way that the weather is lined up. I ain't getting these curls. I ain't getting these curls wet. Anyways, this is a Hurricanes Julington Creek Tuesday of the Young and Norvelle Show with Terry being out. And I actually have a guest with me today who's nervous to pop in on the show, my stepdaughter Kyla Abbott. Maybe we can get her in for a segment or two, or to say a word, a peep. She's such a here. Look at her. Not even gonna. Such a pretty girl. Don't worry, folks. We'll be in the parking lot here shortly. But this is the Julington Creek Hurricanes Tuesday. We will be back on location on Tuesday next week. I'm so grateful for their sponsorship. And yes, I know Hurricane Grill and Wings, but they want you to know that they do have a Taco Tuesday special that they are offering on these Tuesdays. This is great vibe, man. Just from trivia to drinks. If you're out in that area, highly recommend spending some time over there as the weather is warming up and it's a little bit nicer to spend your time outside in not your house. But anyways, guys, so much to get into with our show today. I'm really excited for our guest, especially looking at 5 o'clock is my main man and Jacksonville legend, Jim Martin. He's coming on our show, going to be a regular on Tuesdays around 5 o'clock. Coach Jim Martin is the head coach over at Providence right now. He coached me for 1 year at Providence, and he's been doing a fantastic job of elevating the level of play for kids, especially with his camps. As you know, Providence is a powerhouse, especially in Jacksonville now. So super excited to get him on. He's going to have plenty of stories. And actually, I'm so glad that his first time on this show, Terry is not on. Reason being, the first thing, and I said this to Terry twice, I'm like, Coach, the first thing that you're going to do, or Terry, the first thing you're going to do is ask Coach Martin to tell some bad stories about me. That's the first thing you're going to do. But it's a good thing. He might have a few. But there's way more good stories. But I think, leading on the show today, biggest story national. I know it doesn't really do too much with Jacksonville, but, you want to keep your eyes on these major sports. In the NBA, Jason Tatum goes down. Knicks end up taking another one there. Celtics down 3-1. I mean, it's, to me, unless Jaylen Brown goes completely demon-possessed madman out on the basketball court, I don't think the Celtics have a chance, especially down 3-1. It's a disappointment for them, obviously going down 2-0 at home to start off this series. I don't want to take away from anything that they did in the regular season, but obviously in those first two games, they chose to die by the 3 ball. You say live and die by the 3. And in game 4, they were playing better. They were shooting it in a much better light. I don't know if they still would have won that game if Jason Tatum doesn't go down. And I said immediately, I didn't need to tweet it out, but, we've watched sports enough. I'm 33 years old, and I've watched sports enough to know that is an Achilles tear. You can't tell me non-contact, he takes a step back, he pushes to go forward, and he falls immediately. I've had teammates I'm sure the first thing he'll say is he felt like somebody kicked him. like somebody kicked him down or something like that. Every person I've ever known that's torn their Achilles has said the same thing. So, gosh, thank goodness he's young. I think Jason Tatum's only 26, 25 or 26 years old. So he will bounce back. He's probably going to miss all of next season. Hey, in the same light, because a really good video from their coach, who I'm a fan of, Joe Mazzulla. I don't know him as a coach, but I know he's a man of character. And I remember he was being interviewed, and they asked him about Jason Tatum in terms of like the criticism he takes, and he said it's a privilege because this is what he asked for. When you want to be great, you open up yourself to criticism from everybody. And I like to look at that in the same light. It's not the exact same, but you can see some similarity. Like there's a cost to everything we do in life. Like if you play sports, there's a cost eventually that you have to face. Obviously, there's a cost in time, and injuries. That's a cost that you play. I remember there was a lady I met out the other day. This is crazy, Kyla. She's like, I'm just so worried about my son. And he plays rugby. He plays rugby of all sports. It's like, she's like, I'm just so worried. I just don't want him to get hurt. And I was like, if you don't want him to get hurt, he don't play sports. If Tiger Woods can tear his ACL swinging a golf club, then we should understand, there's nothing benign in sports. And, thoughts and prayers obviously going out to him, going out to the Celtics. It's a tough place. And when, injuries are just a factor. It's a sunken cost. For those of you that are economics majors, a sunken cost. It's a variable cost. It's a fixed cost and a variable cost at the same time. A fixed cost is like no matter what, that cost is the same. And no matter what, like that you have to pay that price. It's like, but in the same sense, like an electric bill, you're paying that electricity bill every month, but it's going to be a little bit different. Every team is going to deal with injuries. That is a fixed cost. I don't think there's any team out there that doesn't ever deals without a major injury or a minor, something that keeps a guy out contributing. But you don't always know what that cost. Well, like, is it the whole season? Is it a few weeks? And like obviously an Achilles. This morning I'm at the gym and filming some stuff for an event I have coming up next month. And this guy's like, the cameraman. He's like, man, how much of this is physical? How much is mental? And I'm like, dude, 95% of life, I think, is mental. I mean, I don't care how healthy you are or smart you are, beautiful you are. If your mentality is not in a place where you're stable, you have identity, you know who you are, things like that, then you're going to fall when really tough things happen in life. But a lot of these things, and, as parents that are listening, I think it's important at times to let your kids go through the difficulty of whatever that thing is, if it turns to sports or losing, and let them internalize and figure some stuff out on their own. I think that's a powerful way for kids to like build that own resilience. I mean, you can't go in to be the savior. Hard stuff happens to everybody in life, does it not? This is really cool. I want to shout this out for the station here. It's one of those things we don't need to take for granted, which is our health and how we can contribute to helping other people's health. If you can see it behind me, I'll grab my camera. Here over at the TV station, the big red bus. You know what that means? That means to donate some blood. As a person that's had multiple blood transfusions, I'm so grateful that and I can't give blood yet until I'm healthy enough, but I'm so grateful for all that I did. Like, I don't know who those people that impacted when I donated blood a lot of times, but knowing how much it affected and changed the course of my life, I'm going to push that, make sure, if you can, if you're healthy enough, if it's not going to put you at risk, donate your blood as much as you can, within the limits. We got to be safe here. But how interesting has this been with the NBA? And I want to talk about this too, because I know ever since the whole script thing came out in regards to the NFL, like everything's scripted. I think we have a high level of skeptics, which is fine. Because you look at the NBA draft lottery yesterday. How, like, you talk about, when you talk about poetic justice, there was a deep injustice that Nico Harrison committed for the Mavs. And I would say the deep injustice, obviously, like, players get traded. I don't think they got enough for Luka. You know, you get Austin Reeves, you get Dalton Connect, you get somebody else that's of like, I mean, Austin Reeves is going to get paid, but you get one of these other guys that will help facilitate the future. Because obviously, you make a trade like that after going to the NBA Finals. The Mavericks, the Dallas Mavericks, they were in the NBA Finals last year, and they traded away their best player this year. They traded him away. I know, right? Doesn't make sense. But it's poetic justice. With a 1.8% chance, they have the first pick of the draft. Welcome, Cooper Flag. Welcome, Cooper Flag. They didn't plan for it to happen this way. And you know what's so crazy, too, Kyle? So they make this trade. Anthony Davis, player for a player, pretty much. They bring in Anthony Davis down. I play with him, actually. He's a really good player. Anthony Davis gets injured first game. He's injured. He misses like 2 weeks. They have more injuries before he got there. They almost had to forfeit a game this year because they only had 8 players available, and the 8th player was questionable. What a mess. Well, now you just hope with them getting Cooper Flag that they won't mess up his career. You know, they've seemed to have done right by star players for the most part. Oh, yeah, I'm going to eat that. They seem to have done right by star players for the most part in the past. Only one championship in that franchise, which is it's head scratching with the players that they've had through, including, you know, Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd. But yeah, I know we're talking a lot of NBA basketball. It's just so interesting how things have unfolded. The Pacers are up 3-1 on the Cavs. That series is pretty much done. I think the Knicks got it over the Celtics. So 2 teams that you didn't predict going into the Eastern Conference Finals right there. Then you look at the other side, no Steph Curry. And that's, you know, that's why I argue on the side of LeBron James. Like, I'm not a LeBron James fan. Like, I'm just, I respect his game, but I'm not like, I mean, LeBron James is this and that. But you got to respect when he is off the court, when he retires, we're going to miss the heck out of him. We're going to miss the heck out of, like, the Lakers are still the Lakers, but are they as intimidating now that one of the all-time greats? Is there just as much bravado now that he's going to be gone? Because look at Golden State. Steph Curry is out, and they can't score. That just goes to show how special he is, because the caliber of shots that he makes at the high level of degree, those are, look, I'm not one of those, that's a bad shot. Back in the day, we would never, I'm not one of those guys, but you got to be real, guys. Some of these shots that Steph takes and makes, you're like, dang, that's a bad shot. But because he's Steph Curry, obviously that doesn't matter. And I pray that Travis Hunter will be like a Steph Curry for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That he will be that generational of a talent. It's just so curious. How is this guy? It's not like basketball. And, you know, I guess the physicality of football is what people look at, because like on basketball, you play both sides. And when you're in, it's constant. And you take breaks, you get out, you get back in. You know, you can be better at defensive. Like, I was better at defense than I was at offense. I did have an offensive game, but that wasn't the strength of my game, the defensive side. So I could stop, really good pick and roll defender, post defense. Those things are super important. But when it comes to football, you know, each play stops. Each play is like 2 or 3 seconds on average. I like to argue on the side, like, I think he can do it. And if he can do it, kind of, he's going to break football. He's going to break football. And I'm here for it, especially if the Jaguars are the first one to do it. But anyways, I'm in my car. I'm about to get into the studio and eat this sandwich, and then we're going to come back. Remember, this is a Hurricanes Julington Creek Tuesday. Get you some wings, get you some tacos. This is the Young Norvelle Show. We'll be right back with you.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming, from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2. See that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding with Bold City Heating and Air. It's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bolt City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bolt City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at BoltCityAC.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bolt City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. BoltCityAC.com. And they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bolt City Heating and Air at BoltCityAC.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Bolt City AC. That's all I know about that song, guys. It's a staple here. We're thankful for all the sponsors here as we look over beautiful I mean, you know what my problem is? People come in, you know, we talk about Jacksonville not being a desired location or something like that. And I get it. I understand completely why they feel that way. People that come into Jacksonville that don't live here. Because you got to think about it. First thing people see when they go down and they land at JAX and they leave to come to the city or to go to the beach, the first thing they see is what? Airport Road. And I don't know about y'all. Airport Road is garbage. It's not until you get past, and then even River City Marketplace, good area, a lot of it's always busy. And like then the first thing, like if a person wants to go past 95 to go see, I mean the traffic, the clutter, who wants to you're seeing, I'm not saying that the restaurants or the hotels are garbage, like the aesthetic, that the feel. So I can understand people coming in like, where are we? You know, the beauty in Jacksonville is downtown, is at the river, is in Nocatee, is in Wildlife, is on certain parts of the north side. Like is obviously at the beach. Don't you just wish you could bring the beach with you everywhere? But anyways, that's just my little, I wonder what my buddy Trent feels on that. If he's, I think we got him on, Trent Torsia, great friend of the show, always on with Terry to talk some baseball with us. Where is my guy? Is he ready to go?
I'm here. You got me?
There you are. What's happening, buddy? Where you at?
I'm roaming around this beautiful city of Jacksonville.
How do you feel about my comment there? Like, you got to be real. Like, right when Airport Road is not a great first impression for a stranger coming to Jacksonville for the first time.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with. I mean, I grew up in Miami. I lived I've been in Jacks for a while, so the big city glamour and everything can be a little bit overrated.
Right.
I think where Jacksonville gets, and I agree with what you're saying. You drive out of the airport and you go, holy cow, we're in the sticks, right? So this is not a city, but I think where Jacksonville loses its luster is it is a big small city.
Yeah.
And it's very spread out. So like the beach is in one spot, and then you said River City's in another spot, and then you can go to if you want to go to Town Center's this way, Nocatee's down south. So it's like, are we still in Jacksonville?
I know,
yes.
Man. And dude, like I'm driving around Jacks today.
And it's the city of bridges.
Oh yeah. Oh. Ooh. Are you ready for a trivia question, Trent? Are you ready for a trivia question?
I am.
And I think I think I know where we're going in terms of bridges. Give me all. Is it 7? Casey, is it 7 main bridges or 11 or 12? Well, just give them to me and I'll say if you're right or wrong. How about that, Trent? Give me the bridges of Jacksonville.
The first ones I could give you are the ones that are named after the universities.
All right.
So the main is Florida.
Florida Bridge. All right.
The Hart is the U, and the Matthews is Florida State.
Really?
Huh.
Yes.
Look at that. Learn something new there. Say that again for the people
trivia.
that don't know.
Hey, that's trivia within trivia.
That is. So the Matthews.
Go ahead and tell the
Matthews is Florida State. Which one did you say was
maroon,
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Is that on purpose? Is this on purpose?
Yes.
Or is this okay? Yes. All right, sorry.
Well,
hey man.
You know, I
so many things that we experienced today were accidents that just like, oh crap, look at that. Main one, Viagra. It was meant as a heart medicine. That was the first one I can think of. It was
so the heart is green. That represents the U.
The U.
University of Miami.
Main Street.
And then the Main Street is
that's blue. That one is the prettiest. You can't lie. That one is pretty.
Go Gator.
Go Gators.
Go Gator.
How about them Gators, man? Let's talk to me about some baseball. I'm gonna get you off the hook on that so we can talk some real talk. You know, I want to ask you this, Trent. Obviously, how long do you think in your life you've been following baseball? Like, you probably wouldn't count maybe the first 5 years of your life, right? Like, maybe it's a part, but like really starting to recognize players and teams.
I don't reveal my age, but as a kid, I used to keep the scorebook watching the Saturday game of the week.
Great. So you've seen a lot of innings, a lot of franchises, a lot.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything?
A lot.
As bad or as in disarray as the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Colorado Rockies? Go.
No. No. It's, and to sit back as like, say you're a casual fan and you're just flipping around or whatever, or you're sitting there like, hey honey, there's a ball game on, let's watch that. And it's like, that's a major league product. Like, I can go to the rec field at 6U and watch people, run around. They all chase the same ball and nobody picks it up. And then what do we do with the ball? And they run around and run around. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad for the game itself.
I know what you mean.
And what is it? In the overall parity of the league, it's like the league is just so out of whack. And then you get a guy like Paul Skeens, who's, the next phenom.
Right, man.
Is he going to die in Pittsburgh, or are they going to let, or...
And as a franchise...
Or are they going to, at some point get something for him that I don't know.
Yeah, man. Like, as a franchise...
It's got to change.
Look at Mike Trout. I would compare him... I would absolutely, and I have no beef as a fan against the Pittsburgh Pirates, but I would have beef if he ended up having a career like Mike Trout. No playoff, no World Series appearances, no real postseason appearances, and has been loyal to the teeth to that organization that drafted him. And what does he have to? And this is not meant to be critical of, in a way, it's meant to be critical specifically. Like, Mike Trout, I mean, he's got over $500 million, but like, he did not start playing baseball as a child because of the money. Like, to lose sight, and that's where, you're looking at NIL and just finances in general coming into sport. Like, that whole loyalty, I love my team, I love the sport, I don't care if I'm going to show up and give my best. It can get exploited. And I know Paul Skeens wants to be a Hall of Famer. He wants to be a great. And how tragic would it be if he never got help? Like, how many games has he lost where he may give up a run or two and his team can't hit the ball? They can't score.
No. And that's the thing. And, so the difference between Trout, who plays for an organization that has a lot of money, can spend money, versus the Pirates, who have no money, no payroll to speak of. So they're a small market team. They're never going to go out in free agency and get the splash player. So shame on the Angels for wasting Trout's MVP years. Great.
What are
great
some
years.
major criticisms or changes in the way that baseball is currently operating? Because I know it's not as simple as saying there's no salary cap. Like what? Because I don't know these. I love. Yeah, tell me some of those things, some grievances you have with MLB.
I'll give you the biggest. And now, this is coming from a third generation, lifelong Yankee fan.
Okay.
But I'm also a baseball fan, and I feel like I'm a baseball realist and probably a baseball purist, which not
I
everybody
agree.
agrees with, and that's fine.
I
That's
agree
not
with you.
the purpose of what I'm
I think
about
that's
to
who.
say.
I think that's who you are.
But you could say, okay, salary cap. Well, but it doesn't matter. See Dodgers.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
See Cubs, where they go, you know what? We will spend as much money as we want, and all we have to do is pay a luxury tax on the money we spend over the cap. And then you've got teams like Kansas City, Minnesota, soon to be the Las Vegas Athletics, and
Hey, who's
the
Twins? The Twins. Gosh, man.
the Miami Marlins, or the Florida Marlins, I should say, and then Tampa Bay. You know, you can go on and on about these teams that
Oakland
just
might be
don't
one of
have
the Oakland. Their manager just doesn't want to pay their owner. He just doesn't want to pay those guys any money.
He never has. He's the true definition of Moneyball, you know, and for a while they competed, but that's why I think it's really cool when a team like the Kansas City Royals gets into the playoffs and makes some noise, because their payroll is $125 million a year, and Juan Soto with the Mets is making $55 million a year, or whatever his number
That's
is.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's 55.
So, well, and it makes it out of whack, and there's no penalty.
And then allowing them to defer,
monetary.
And it's great that they can do these deferred payments to an extent, but like that's another advantage that teams that have a lot of money can use to exploit the system to get the best players. This whole, and it's awesome. I love the mindset. Ohtani deferring his money because he wants to win. He's not cheating, not against the rules, but I don't think it's the parity that you're talking about. Like, think about the NCAA tournament. I don't think we're going to have Cinderella stories as much anymore. It's going to be very rare. And if you do see one, those players get plucked and they're going to the bigger school. And that's, to an extent, what baseball has been doing for the longest time. There are teams that squeeze in there. Like, the better team wins more often than not.
In a series, for sure.
In a series, yes, in a series, absolutely. But yeah, what else, my friend? Like, how can it be? What's the solution to get this evened out?
Well, and I think the other thing that's wrong are these cable deals are astronomical in the larger markets. So it goes hand in hand with, I've got to pay this fat luxury tax. Well, guess what? If I'm the Angels, and I said this not too long ago, I think I tweeted in the Martineau show, I said that the Angels, the Anaheim Angels, had a $3 billion cable deal.
Hey, what?
With a B. So they had $3 billion.
What do you want Minnesota to do against that? What do you want Colorado to do with that? What do you want Pittsburgh to do with that? Oh my gosh. $3 billion cable deal,
including Tampa. Those are pretty big. Those are pretty large markets.
Right? Yeah.
And
yeah, you especially for Miami, man.
And the Yankees, and then in the city. And that's why I lived down there when the Marlins first became a franchise, MLB franchise, and they thought, oh, it's such a baseball city, it's going to thrive, and it's going to do this, and it's going to do that. And yes, they have a World Series, maybe two. This is back in the 90s. But what have you done for me lately? They had Giancarlo Stanton. They couldn't keep him, so they get rid of him. And what do? You replenish your minor league system. They get to the big leagues, they flourish, and you get rid of them for more minor league capital.
Well, and the one guy,
wash, rinse, repeat.
They would have did the same thing with him, though. The one that got in trouble, the Puerto Rican guy that was 21 years old, and he's in you know which case I'm talking about. I wish I could remember his name. He was a really good baseball player, but made some poor decisions with someone that was his ex-girlfriend and underage, and all this getting blackmailed by the family. It's just all a mess. But yeah, they would have paid him to trade him. And yeah, like you look at Tampa Bay and then you look at Miami, their NHL fan bases are rabid. I mean, I'm not a big hockey person, but like I'll ask my friends who are, and they're like, oh yeah, Miami Panther fans, they're rough. They're rough to be around, and they just want it. Tampa Bay Lightning, they win 2 back-to-back. They go to 3 Stanley Cup finals. Like their fan base is, and a lot of it has to do with location, from what I'm told, that the Rays old stadium was not in a great location for ease of getting there, having to cross the long bridge. I like the Clearwater Bridge, man. People would be complaining about that. That's a nice drive. Nice long I think it's a 3-4 mile drive on that bridge. People complain about it. I get it. But even Miami, man, the Panthers, their location, it's probably not the best, but like they have done a great job facilitating the desire and support and loyalty that these smaller markets, Tampa's, it's still a big market. I want the reason I'm not a Rays fan, being a Florida kid, is because growing up, they were no good. The Red Sox were the good, and they caught my eye. So and I just left my loyalty there. It's just that's just how it is now, man.
No, I mean, and you could look at that, and you could even look at like the Heat. The Heat weren't,
you're right.
Franchise. You look at look at the Jaguars expansion franchise, where you go, where's the loyalty in the fan base? I mean, I'm a Dolphin fan because I grew up in Miami and that's my team, and my kids are all Jaguar fans, and I'm okay with that. And it's that generation that the Jaguars are going to have to cater to in order to stay alive, if you will, for lack of a better term. With the fan base, with the revenue and season ticket holding and all that other stuff. But to your point about the Rays, it is in St. Pete. Parking is not great. I've been to the venue a fair amount, and they're all saying, bring it to Tampa and we'll show up.
Yeah, that's what
like, well,
where's the location of the
Tampa?
Where's the location that they're doing it now? That they're doing it, or they're playing? Excuse me, that they're playing games. The Yankees spring training facility. And is that in Tampa?
In Tampa.
Oh wow. Well,
it's in Tampa.
The argument for fans, as you said, this is your opportunity to prove your loyalty by, if that's so be your team, fill out that small stadium constantly. Consistently. But that doesn't make sense, since the stadium's destroyed. You hope they get enough money to just think about making a new. Hey, and I'm trying to say it lightly, like this is a easy task. Like I can't wait to see how things are going to be for the Jaguars when they start those renovations for the new stadium here. Like where are they going to end up playing? And
what typically
like
happens when you build a stadium, it's either taxpayer dollars or it's season ticket prices go up. I mean, somebody's going to pay.
Somebody pays, yeah, man.
The piper.
That's what,
that's why
there's a cost for everything, man.
These cities that argue with ownership, and they're like, well, you're the ownership, you should do it. It's like, well, wait a minute. Ownership's like, you're the city,
right?
You should do it.
Yeah, that's why I do appreciate that.
Let the people vote on a tax.
Yeah,
it's going to fund this or help fund it.
I don't
know the answer either. But
I know we added a hotel tax I think so. I think they added a hotel tax but I mean, the amount was like $6 million of the hotel tax. I'm like, that is barely a drop in the bucket for a $500,000 or $500 million stadium or whatever it is. I do like the thought that, yeah, the owners shouldn't be on the hook for all of it because it's such a hefty investment. Like, the city should meet them. Like, we should, as a city, vote on it, meet with him halfway, because you want to look at the money he gets. And look, Shaq Khan at the end of next season, he's going to make back every single dollar, as does every manager or every owner, if not more. They split a check at the end for that TV money, where it's like, I think Terry said it was $270 million or something like that. Terry would know. He knew that off the top of his head. It was crazy, man. It covers your salary cap at least.
But who gets the hotel revenue and the restaurant revenue? And it's the city.
It's the city. It's the city.
Development. I mean,
absolutely.
They have to have some skin in the game.
Yeah, man. Our city is.
They can't just keep leaning on these billion-dollar owners.
Look, have your opinion about Donna Deegan. Stuff is getting built. Stuff is getting made. If you go across JTB and you're passing who's the South Side exit between South Side and Kernan, you see the level of development going on out in that area. Then downtown, that what's it called? The ones that Rise apartments that were destroyed last year, that's coming back up. It's looking pretty good. Like I mean, it does seem as though they're doing construction on the road all the time, nonstop, which is also annoying. But we can't say that this city isn't trying to make things better. That's for sure.
That's not a bad sign, though.
Not a bad sign.
They always say when you're pushing dirt, it's a good sign.
Yeah. I mean, and gosh, man, we are as a country, man. It's like if you disagree with somebody on one thing, they're just a bad person. I can disagree with you about Pete Rose. Yeah, and I want to make sure we shouted that out. I saw that was breaking news. The great Hustle
Big
Pete.
News.
The great Hustle.
It's not just
it's incredible.
Pete Rose.
Yeah, who's this? Joe No Shoes? We talking about Terry? Yeah, who else? Talk about it, man. Tell me what happened in baseball today.
Terry, the guy that every pitcher would hit when he faced him, and I tell Terry that all the time. But so it's like breaking news within the last, probably 60 to 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Baseball commissioner Rob Manfred has lifted the ban on banned athletes to get into the
How
Hall
many?
of Fame. And so his point was, and I read the article, it's kind of it's a short article, but it basically said we shouldn't hold these people eternally responsible. Now, there's going to be a lot of haters and a lot of doubters and naysayers, and I get it. And it's probably going to be split down the middle. I have always been a free Pete Rose advocate.
And I'm so glad you made the clarity there that you're a purist. You love and you're taking into perspective how much gambling has changed. The perspective, the view of that, the implementation, the everyday. So you're coming from a place that is striving to be as objective and taking all the context in. Like I watched Pete Rose highlights. Man, he was awesome. I got goosebumps just watching his highlights, man. That dude.
He could play any position.
Everything.
Everything.
Every
he was not
bit.
He wasn't even a drafted player. He's just
Are you serious?
Just a blue collar Ohio boy that grew up really with nothing, and baseball was his entire life. And now I will say that every professional locker room, because I played in the minor leagues, and every time you walked out, the last sign you saw in a locker room was "Do not bet on baseball," and that's fact. So that was like the golden rule. That was the one thing.
Do not bet on baseball.
You that you couldn't do.
Right.
And my admiration for Pete Rose is he bet on his own team, but he bet on his team to win.
Right. How did they find the evidence?
Could you have
how do they find
as a person?
Do you know I'm sure there's a documentary, but do you know how did they find out he was gambling and like, because that is a big piece of it. Like the guy's gambling, he believes in himself and his team that they're going to win. Just to kind of, and I'm not trying to glorify it because, and Terry, this is the point that Terry makes too. You know, if we're going to just gamble and everyone's gambling, let the players gamble, but they can only gamble for their team to win. That's it. And I don't only for yourself and only for the team to win, which still muddies it up a bit. I don't know, but I see where he's coming from. But man,
well, I don't know how you control it. And
I don't know how you control it, man.
The Ohtani situation where
isn't that crazy?
You know, he's exonerated, and it's like now you're talking about millions and tens of millions of dollars. So it's like I guess if you have that, like I won't miss $10 if somebody takes $10 out of my account, but
right.
I don't even have 10 million to take, but if I did, I would probably notice $10 million missing. So that's
it's so interesting. Isn't it just so interesting that Ohtani, like, I'm not saying because there's so many. It's easy hindsight's 2020, right, Trent? But I would want somebody that was my friend and I trusted, that could speak English, and I know that they're not going to be a threat. Because he's taken – I mean, I got to be honest with you, man. Like, if someone called me on the phone and said that they were Shohei Ohtani, I would not know because I'm just not versed enough in hearing Japanese and recognizing that. So, like, that guy really exploited him and made a – I mean, I hope people can learn from that mistake here of, like, you know, you should be aware of who's in your circle, right?
Well, there's so many stories of it, and it's not just in the athletic world, but the entertainment world, where these guys have made millions and hundreds of millions, and their quote business manager had taken advantage of them, and you know, either hid all their money or took it away or lost it or whatever the case may be. I mean, there's guys like Billy Joel that happened to him, an entertainer. And then I think
Billy Joel lost it all.
Jabbar was a victim of something like that.
Oh man! Just recently, Dwight Howard, and he won. A guy stole. I think it was $12 million. He stole like $12 million from Dwight, and the guy got convicted. I don't know if Dwight's getting his money back. I highly doubt it, but at least there was justice in terms of the guy that defrauded him and stole his money is going to be in prison for a long time. But most stories like that, you don't hear justice coming like that. Like, you hate to see it, man. But like, I think I was saying earlier on the show, dude, there's a cost to everything. There is a cost to everything in life. And some of the costs, like as being a high level athlete, you got a target on your back. Like, so what? You're good at basketball. You're a good person. You do all the right things. You are acting independently of the people around you that want to be you. And I hate to say that you have to think that way, but when you got $30-40 million you're making a year, I mean, let's just say 5. Like, people are going to say, how can I get closer to this person? How can I present something of value that's going to be a win-win for both of us? And I fell into that trap as an athlete, man. And I'm just grateful that, I'm young, still got plenty of opportunities to make some money. And money isn't everything, man. But people get controlled by it so much. I don't want to be one of those that's envious of other people's things and enjoy the things that I have in my life. And I hope most of the people in my circle feel the same way. I hope so. Hope that for you too.
And I think that, you just kind of let your guard down, and you've got your people that manage your affairs, and you don't even think about it. And athletes especially, the end of the road is the end of the road, and they never know when the end of the road's going to be.
Yeah,
and it
man.
could be a great career, or it could be an injury-riddled career. But back to your question about Pete and the gambling.
Yeah.
I read his book, and it's a great book, and it does talk about.
Did he have a sports writer help him with it, or?
Well, yeah, it was professionally written. It was a New York bestseller.
Nice.
Back,
I got to read that.
Right when kind of this whole ban went down, and what was happening is he was getting himself with the wrong people.
Mm.
So, and I don't know like the entire details of the story. You have to go back and read everything. But
is it Charlie Hustle?
He was with some sketchy people.
Is it is his book Charlie Hustle? That's the one.
It's a red cover.
Oh, this is the red cover. This one's this is Charlie Hustle: The Rise and Fall of Pete Rose and the Last Glory Days of Baseball. Oh, here's the red one. Here it is. My Prison Without Bars by Pete Rose. Is that?
Yep.
That's it, man.
Beautiful read. I'll lend it to you.
I want
to
read it. Yeah, I want to read his book. If he wrote it, because it's him. I want to read. Absolutely, his book.
You probably read books online, but that's okay. Man.
No, I don't. I don't. But I do enjoy the audio. Because sometimes, like, I got to be real. Like, I get tired of talking and listening to sports. Sometimes, not always. Because it's just so many other great things to learn about and listen to. And obviously, I'm enamored by the Travis Hunter situation of him being here. And I'm saying I hope that Travis Hunter breaks football in the best way, and he gets paid a lot of money, and the Jaguars are the first team to really – because, like, dude, look, I play basketball. I played both sides. You play both sides in basketball. It's constant movement. You get breaks. Sometimes you're better on one side or the other. You do have those guys that are two-way that they can defend really well. They can score it. On the other side, they're an asset. And I'm like, yeah, the biggest difference, obviously, is the physicality of football, the way that you have to hit, the way you have to receive hits. But there's each play is 3 to 5 seconds. You get breaks. Like, realistically, I can see him doing 100 snaps, man. Come on. Both sides. More offensive, though. We need points.
They just talk about the physicality of it, and I can't speak to it. I didn't play basketball or football, but I did get to get my 3 outs and then go sit down for 3 outs. But I don't know. The only thing that everybody keeps pointing to is the fact that these players are so much faster. They're so much bigger. It's so much more physical.
That's a good point.
There's no way a human can endure that. They just keep coming back to that.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, I could see him doing offensive packages.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Dion did it, and Dion, like,
I think
he's a special athlete.
I don't think the Jaguars.
And I remember when he did it, like, yeah, he's going to run some pass patterns. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, because he's fast, and I mean, he's a defensive back, so he understands.
Yeah.
Where he's supposed to be or whatever as a receiver. I mean, I get all that, but I don't know.
I mean, Travis Hunter had the best coach to teach him how to do it, which, it was done by Deion Sanders. Trent, going to have to let you go here. We're having a new segment on the show. Don't know what they're going to call it yet, but legendary Coach Jim Martin is going to join us here at the 5 o'clock hour after this break. Trent, enjoy your time always, man. You are the man. Still don't have that cool hat or a kettlebell. What do you want?
The league start.
What I got to give you something too.
In 2 weeks. No, it doesn't have to be reciprocating. The league starts.
A hat for a hat.
And I already said, yeah. I just need your cap size. I'll text
Oh, it's
you.
custom.
Send me your cap size.
Okay.
Well, no, it's medium, large, extra large. But it is.
I'm definitely an XL. I do have a big old head. I have the biggest. I got the biggest head in my family for sure. Shut up, Kylo.
And I owe you a cowbell. I have not made it to Starkville, but I owe you a cowbell, and I will not.
Dude,
forget.
I did not know those things could be so expensive. Holy moly. I didn't know. I thought a cowbell, I mean, like in the high range, $50-$60. But apparently you can go all out. Like, dude, just get me a cheap one if you're going to get one. Or, don't spend.
And you have to be gifted your first one.
Yes,
so.
yes, I know.
It's on me.
I need more Mississippi State friends. I'd go out there for a baseball game. Oh, without a doubt. But Trey, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate you jumping in. We'll have Terry back on next week. He got a little doodle, that older procedure you got to get where they got to check you out, make sure you're good. He's a little drowsy. He's a little doodle. Take that where you want. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Trent. Thank you for your time. Talking baseball with Trent Torsia every Tuesday. This is Young and Norvelle Show, coming back to you with Jim Martin on this first segment here with the Young and Norvelle Show. Thank you, everybody.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from.
My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave. So I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Well, here we are back in Jacksonville, Florida. 904 Duval. Duval, we ready, baby. We're not ready for the rain. Man, it came down yesterday. I had plans to go to, I got a new spot. I don't get to go often because of our show, but when I do, I go to Casbah in Avondale. And what I love about it, yeah, it's a hookah Mediterranean spot. I don't do hookah, but there's outside seating. The indoor seating is pretty great as well.
Place.
And I just love the vibe, man. I love being in Jacksonville and just have the vibe of the people, including every opportunity I get to talk about that man, Coach Jim Martin. Look at him. Look at him. He don't look like a coach. He looked like he about to tell me to, I don't even know. I should have thought about that. He's looking too good. He doesn't, I told him that look that he's got going on, it doesn't intimidate me. I don't know how good a coach you are without it being high and tight.
Can't anymore. I'm too soft now. I'm too old.
Coach, how are you doing, man? What an honor, pleasure to have you on the show here. Really excited as obviously school. I actually have my Kyla, come here real quick. I'm not sure if you met Coach Martin yet. Look at yourself. This is Kyla, Coach Martin. I picked her up from UC today.
Nice.
We're hanging out. I hate that she had to come hang out in the studio, but she's never seen one before.
Yeah.
Can you believe that guy used to be my coach? He was pretty intimidating. Like what was it now? I'm 33, 15 years ago. Wow.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe it.
You made me a great coach here, guy.
I did, and you helped me become a great player on just the mentality of it, man, just understanding what it takes to be good, what it takes to be great. So, Coach, what are you up to these days, man? Let's start there, and then we'll get into many great stories. You can go back to your game, babe.
We've got the Jacksonville Basketball Academy, so we're doing a lot of the youth league, spring league, AU. Got a bunch of kids playing for us right now, trying to get them better, trying to get them ready for middle school, school ball, JV, high school, and still doing the passion of just trying to help young kids get better.
Absolutely. So how did you and I were, gosh, what restaurant was that? When it was the restaurant we were at when you first told me your idea of opening up these locations. And I want, like, did you envision, I want you to brag a little bit. Not brag, but state facts of like how many locations you have, the coaches you have, the athletes that you're coaching, the age range, just give us some data.
So we have 4 facilities, which is fantastic. We go 3rd grade through 11th grade, and at our locations, we train over 700 kids.
Man,
every month we're getting ready. We're getting ready for our summer camps coming up, and they start right after Memorial Day.
Are you having to turn down kids at times for some of those camps?
At times we do.
Man.
In the spring on the AAU teams and in the spring league. Luckily, we offer a summer league, so we get them in that once we fill up. But we've been very fortunate to and blessed now, Patrick, blessed to help these young kids get better and then have a lot of kids. And I'm blessed to have probably in all our facilities combined, probably have about 20, 22 coaches.
Yeah.
That probably 7 or 8 that are full-time, that are dedicated to just help young kids get better.
Yeah. And you gotta say a lot of your coaches have actually played professional or on a high Division I college level, guys that have trained those top tier athletes. So you're really not getting better coaching for your son or daughter than the exposure. And look, starting at 3rd grade, coach understands the game. Like, he wants the kids to have fun. at that young. Enjoy it. Enjoy showing up. It's not just and Coach, you do such a fantastic job of when you sit your groups down, that this is more than just a camp. This is more than just basketball. Yeah. What kind of message do you try to instill to those kids that when you're there? Obviously, you can't talk to all 700 at once, but you do the best you can.
Yeah, no, I think we try to talk to them about being a good person, being a good teammate. We like to refer to it as being a good teammate.
Yeah.
And really what we're saying is to be a good person. When you wake up in the morning and you pray that you can be that good person all day long. And you get a chance when you're on the basketball court, you get tested a little bit. And those are times you get tested that you come above that test and you're good to your people around you, and most of the time as teammates, kids are going to miss shots. Your team,
for sure.
You want to be the guy that when you play on a team, everybody kind of like how you were, Patrick. For us, you become the favorite guy. You're the favorite player because you're encouraging much more than ever trying to break down. And when you are that teammate, then guys remember you for a lifetime. And we try to teach that message.
Yeah.
If it's a shot, it's just one shot.
It's one shot. Absolutely. Billy Donovan had a fantastic post-game press conference that I'm going to try to find that clip at some point and play it. He talked about how selfish it actually, and none of these guys, none of the players, I know this, would ever want to be characterized as selfish. Because you're thinking if I'm selfish, that must mean I'm a ball hog. No, that's one dynamic of it. But it's selfish. Like basketball is a team sport. For me to be so caught up on something in the past, a bad call, a bad play, a missed shot, and not being able to be focused on the next play, or like obviously in basketball you play offense and defense. It hurts you and it hurts the whole team. So like, how difficult is it getting guys? Because I talked to Matt Santoni, and we'll gush on him in a second how awesome of a guy he is. But how tough is it? You're dealing with. From third grade to some pro guys to your AAU teams, getting these guys to mature right in front of your eyes. How difficult is that?
It's definitely a growing process, but I think if you bring the consistency and the coaching on what those expectations are, it's easier to get the kids to buy in. And the older the older they become, the easier they are to understand that. And, I'll use Providence as an example, and you know what I'm talking about. We want that total team commitment, and we're committed to that body language that represents that commitment to the team too. So it's easy to read off a kid's body language if he's all in on the team aspect. When you played in that team, which was phenomenal in 2010, our only agenda, and you know this, was to win games.
That was it, man. Oh my gosh.
Nobody thought about who's getting the credit. Guys played on both ends.
I don't even know if that was really discussed. I don't think you sat us down, or me or anyone. I don't think you had to.
I don't think we had to. I think we just had guys.
Like I came like obviously not the only reason I came to Providence, but I wanted an opportunity to win a state championship. Like I wanted a real legit shot of doing that. And if I wanted a legit shot at winning player of the year, or, Gatorade National Player of the Year, or scoring records or something like that, then maybe I don't come to Providence. But I wanted to just win so badly. And you did a great job of just seeing that. And like I'll never forget. This is one of my favorite. And you gotta tell me the truth on this, Coach. You gotta tell me the truth.
Okay.
It was before the state final game. It's one of my favorite stories. And we're on the bus heading to the gym, and Coach comes on the bus. I don't care if he manipulated this or not, because I'm going to remember it as this. He said, "Hey guys, I have just had my morning devotional today, and you wouldn't believe that the title, Be a Champion. Be a Champion." And I don't even know or care about what you said. I don't know or care what you said after that. That was it. That was it, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not messing. I said it in our daily bread. It said that be a champion. I'm like, I'm carrying this onto the bus,
man.
And we're going to play like champions, which we did, which you led us that year, and you led us in that big time.
So cool. Hey, Coach, I want to pivot because this is something I haven't really talked to you before. You're not from Jacksonville, right?
Tampa.
Born in Tampa. How in the heck did you end up at Jacksonville University? And tell me, what kind of player were you? You said, military kind of background with your dad, everything straight and narrow, maybe just some not following obedience, not bad behavior. How did you end up with basketball at JU, man? Like, talk to me.
That's a great story. It's a great story. So I was one of the top players in the state. I was the 6th ranked player in 1977, and had a lot of offers. What people don't realize that in the 70s, JU now in the South now was a powerhouse.
Wow.
Played in front of crowds of 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. And the other schools, Florida State, even like Ole Miss, were playing in smaller arenas that totally has changed now. But JU was playing downtown, had huge crowds. It was the only show in town. And
wow.
I visit here and just, fell in love with the city and fell in love with the program too. And fortunately, one of those years we made it in 79 to the NCAA tournament. 1980, we made it to the NIT tournament. We had some good teams. We had a great player that played for us that was the 5th player taken in the 1980 draft, and pretty much led the way, and then everybody else just filled in behind.
I gotta know what you're the 6th ranked player,
6th best player,
6th best. Like, what were we doing? What were your what are we saying now?
I was young.
You were tangibly rich. What were you tangibly rich in?
And knowing the whole game, playing the whole game. I was like you. I could do it all. I could score a little bit. I could be a leader. I could play a lot of defense. I was a winner. I could just do everything pretty good. And I don't think I had anything that I did great, but I played hard on both ends, was not afraid to take a charge, not afraid to get or had good players around me, had good talent around me, and just was able to figure it out. And really, I carried that into my college career. I don't think I was the greatest player, but I still played in over 130 games at JU.
Yeah.
In those 4 years, I just figured out a way to get on the court, and it could be on the defensive end. Maybe it needed to be a guy that could knock down free throws. Game. It could be a wide variety. You just figure out.
It was a guarantee that you were going to bring value to the game, to every, it didn't matter which way it looked like. I mean, that is what coaches, that's what you want, right? You want players that you don't have to coach them up on effort. You don't have to coach them up on doing the right thing. That is part of, but you have to. You don't like Gino Auriemma. He's like, we don't coach effort. That's a different thing because that's already in college. To get there to that level, you've already had, for the most part, I believe, some really good coaching. But what was your coach like at JU?
I was very fortunate. I played for a guy kind of defensive oriented, Tate Slock.
Oh, Tate Slock, yeah, man. Oh man, God rest his soul. God rest his soul.
But he was a fiery guy.
He was tough.
He was tough as nails. He was tough as nails. A great coach.
Gosh, man, y'all listening, y'all don't know Tate Slock, staple, foundational, Mount Rushmore type of person when it comes to basketball in Jacksonville. I mean, you're hearing this. He not only did he coach Jim Martin, I had some time later in my career where Tate's gave me some coaching and some skill development and things as well. So that man has meant a lot to Jacksonville and to basketball. Rest in peace.
Absolutely.
So we had this conversation. You didn't start coaching till 33.
Correct.
Right? You finished playing, when you not saying you finished. So after college, did you pursue a little bit of professional level, or what was your path to getting to coaching at 33? I'll just leave it there.
It's a great story, Patrick. I was working at the Federal Reserve Bank. I had a former teammate of mine that was coaching at Episcopal, my schedule was such at the Fed that I could help him out a little bit. So I helped him out for about a year, and literally came home one day with my wife and said, I know what I'm supposed to do the rest. And she said, what's that? I said, I'm supposed to coach. So I stopped the corporate world, and fortunately I knew the AD, which is Coach Bob West, Coach Pichardo, Kenny. They gave me a job 31 years ago teaching government and economics, and had a chance to coach JV for 4 years, and then coach 26 years at the varsity. So it's a great story. I feel like, Patrick, I've never worked a day in my life. I feel like I've just done what I always do.
Well, I got to tell y'all, folks, Coach had a sweet deal. He's had a sweet deal at Providence. It's so funny. Things have changed. He's obviously brought so much value to that program. I spoke at Providence about 2 years ago, and Coach comes up. I'm like, Coach, I'm not sure if I've seen you in pants before. He's like, always in the shorts. But man, like, you knew coaching was your route. You felt that conviction. What kept you? Because I guess you would say, looking at it, took a while for Providence to get to where it is now. But obviously, you had some really good teams before that were that reliability, play hard, etc. But like, was there ever any interest for you going up Division II or small Division I or anything like that?
I interviewed for the job in 2015, the JU job. So I was one of the 3 finalists for the JU job.
Dang, man. Yeah, 2015.
2015, we just come off a state championship game. So from 2010 to 2015, all 5 of those teams have been nationally ranked in max prep. So I was probably as hot as I could possibly be.
Yeah.
During that time period, highly ranked in the top 25. So, and I was not going to ever be leaving Jacksonville. So
right.
I know the city, thought I could bring some value, still was at that time fairly young, and thought I could really help that program. It didn't work out, but I never looked back. But I enjoyed the opportunity to interview and have a chance. Coach Hamilton at Florida State knew I was interviewing. He called me up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is a good story. He called me up and said, are you ready for the interview? And I said, I think I am. And he asked me a few questions, and I wasn't ready for the interview. And he said, drive over to Tallahassee. And he literally him and Coach Stan Jones spent 4 hours prepping me for the interview. And literally I came up with my own little booklet. And
are you serious? I did not know that you were that close with Coach Ham.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. That's in the coaching fraternity. It's like a brotherhood. Just so many coaches are always looking out for the other guy and wanting to help them whatever they can to help. And to this day, I appreciate both Coach Hamilton and Coach Jones taking the time out of their crazy busy schedule.
I know, right?
They had me 4 hours.
Surprise coach didn't try to hey man, you sure about that Florida commitment? No, that was man, that's so cool. So you have that conversation, and obviously I don't you and I both, we're men of faith that God makes mistakes. Family obviously super important to you. Like that college lifestyle, even though you would have been in Jacksonville, like it's another level. The pressure you face. And I will ask you this first: like, why do you think JU, being that powerhouse, why did they start to decline? Why was there not momentum of the program? Because if JU would have been a powerhouse program when I'm coming up, you think I'm going to Florida?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be going to Florida.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it got away from. I'll tell you this. Part of it is in the growth of Jacksonville. There's a lot of great things that came to Jacksonville, with the Jaguars and
That's true.
And other professional sports. So when I tell you there was only JU at the time, there was only JU at the time. So the whole city supported. Now there's so many great things going on in Jacksonville that a lot of the family disposable income is tough to do all the great things in Jacksonville now compared to what it was in the 70s.
Yeah, absolutely. You make a great point. I didn't think about that. Jaguars come in 95. I think the Jacksonville Bulls were here a little bit before that. My dad played in that league. Goodness, coach. Yeah, so like what is your family just meant to you, and how you like navigate basketball, trying to be great and trying to be a great dad at the same time? Like how'd you intertwine those things?
Yeah, no, it's fortunate. It takes a lot of time for sure, but my family was always part of it, and everyone rallied around, the Providence teams. The two sons played for me. They were good players. My daughter graduated. She played basketball and softball. And so everybody.
What? I've never seen Travis play. What kind of player was he? That's your oldest son.
Oldest, he was shooter.
Like Tyler?
Yeah, like Tyler.
People don't know. Tyler Martin, probably one of the best shooters I've ever played with in high school. I got to go high school level. He can knock it down from anywhere.
No, good. He's good. No, when you grow up in the gym, I can remember when Tyler was a little kid. He's probably in second or third grade, and I had a teacher planning day, and I just literally left him in the gym with the shoot away. Come back about 4 hours later, and I go, how many shots did you get off? He goes, a couple thousand. And I go, a couple thousand? How do you know? He goes, there's a counter on the shoot away. You can go look at it and it'll count up your shots. And he said, yeah, it's a couple thousand shots. I go, how long you been in there again? He's like 4 or 5 hours, just shooting 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So,
I did 1,000 shots one time.
Yeah.
Well, I did 1,000 makes, not just shots. And that took me a good deal of time. So I can only imagine, like, how you don't teach that. Like, there's a part of it, and I'd love to ask you this question. Do you think when it comes to talent, not even just talent, that drive to be great or to not wilter in the moment, is that more nature, like you're just born with it, or it's nurture? It's got to be instilled in you, like, hey, it's all up to you, figure it out.
I think two things. I think you're born with it. Number one, as a competitor, you're born. You wake up every morning ready to compete. I'll say this on shooting. That's God-given now. That's touch. That's touch. That's why you see these great shooters. Every shot they take, no matter what the shot is, looks like it's down. Guys can get better shooting, and guys work at it, and they do become good shooters. The absolute great shooters. It's all touch. And they can take a shot, whatever the crazy shots are, and everything's just touch off the fingertips.
I know, right?
It's down.
Everything. Like I'm looking at Steph Curry being out.
It's a perfect example. Yeah.
He started, it did. We can't say it didn't help him having Del Curry as his dad, like starting him up early. Because I almost place it like in soccer. If you start when you're 10, 11, 12, you're too late, right, to develop that touch. You see these guys, the ball goes up 100 feet in the air. They quote unquote catch it with their foot, and it barely goes a foot in front of them. You right. can't, like, they start a very young age, and that obviously, but there are outliers. Joel Embiid, he didn't really start playing until he was 14, 15, 16 years old, but like, being a 7-footer, that helps. But yeah, I mean, I guess, you've had guys that let's talk about Grayson. I remember when Grayson was in 6th or 7th grade, he already had like a size 15 shoe.
Right.
Like I did not foresee him becoming the shooter that he is now, but like, Grayson can do so much more than what the NBA allows him to do, and that's a great message for people to understand. Like, you're more than likely, if you make it to the NBA, you're going to be a role player.
Right.
But how can I use, until that happens, become the best I can be?
Correct. He's adapted so well. Like you said, he can do so many things, but he's found his niche as a really good, really great 3-point shooter.
Great shooter.
He's going to have a long career just filling that role. But clearly, we've all seen him do some, remarkable things in his career. But that's why I think guys are able to stay in the NBA. They find, he's not number 1, 2, or 3. Find a role as number 4, 5, 6, or 7.
Especially when you can shoot it.
Of that 13, 14-year career type thing.
He's almost kind of Cooper Flag. He's kind of almost like, I would say in athleticism, Grayson's got the athleticism that Cooper Flag does. Right. Between the legs, dunk from the free throw line, all that.
Yeah, phenomenal. And believe it or not, he was kind of a late bloomer. He wasn't a guy, ninth grader who played JV. And then 10th grader, he was solid, really good. That team was a state champion, state made it to the Final Four, that team. And then his junior year, just had it coming out. The state tournament. The state tournament, he was phenomenal. Won us the state title in 2013 with good players around him. But that was his shining moment, MVP of the state tournament. And then just got better and better and better. Continued to get better from his sophomore year on. And I think that's the trick of becoming a superstar. It's just you've got to find a way to keep getting better. And he was finding ways to get better.
That's what I've come to realize. Like, you look at guys that have made it, and you can tell a difference. And you don't want to. I'm not going to say this is Bible, like it is the rule for, because everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different. But you can tell, guys like Kobe Bryant and those guys that are the greats, they were almost obsessed with getting better, fighting for inches. It wasn't just about, oh yeah, I get to dream to play basketball. I'm just so no, I want to kill you. I want to destroy you. I want to win as many rings. I want to be known as that. And I can't say like I wish I did growing up had that little, because I do think there is a piece of nurture with that. Yes. My dad is not a super competitive guy. He's more of a football guy, now all golf. Like, and I love this though. My parents never made me feel any pressure of like, you have to go to Florida to play basketball and you have to go to the NBA. And a part of me wishes they kind of did, like, at least ask the questions like, hey, like, how far do you want this to go? And I'm sure they did. I just can't remember right now. But like when I got to college, I never thought, all right, I'm one and done. I'm going to make all this money. That wasn't my mindset.
I don't think you're lucky your parents weren't like that. I see it too much now in the academy and elsewhere that, Patric, it breaks my heart. I have to talk to the parents, like, let the kid enjoy it. You're worried about him playing at Duke or Florida. Most kids don't play at Duke and Florida. Let him have fun. Let him pick up that basketball. Let him dribble that basketball only because he wants to and he's having fun. I worry about these kids where the parents are way too involved.
Yeah.
And I think we're fortunate that your parents let you continue to have your passion, and it was your passion. It was not their passion.
And they did a great job of still, like, you can take a step back and still hold firm to those character traits. Like, Patric, you have 6 a.m. practice. Get your butt up. Have your stuff ready to go. Like, like their job getting me there, and also like making sure, whatever responsibilities, like they can still hold me accountable. Are you working hard? Are you getting to places on time, et cetera? And saying like, I entrust this coach. And I think there's no issue. Because my dad would do this. Like, I'm sure he did this with us in high school. Like a practice or a game, he'd watch and see something that you said or teaching on and say, hey man, let's go work on that. Yeah. Let's go work on that thing that coach, like meant to be an extension of, because like I want to ask you, you've obviously been in high school sports for a while, so you've seen a lot of change. Like, what is I don't want to say your biggest gripe, but what are the things that you're kind of concerned about when it comes to where high school sports are, NIL, kids transferring whenever they want, stuff like that?
My biggest concern is we're losing the value of the team to the individual agenda. And it's a team sport. It's a team sport. And it was built to be a team sport. And we've got kids now that, and it starts with the AAU. There's very little value to winning. Back when you were playing on that Sunday, it was pool play, play for a championship. Now you just get 4 games scheduled. It really doesn't matter if you go 4-0, 2-2, 0-4, as long as you're putting up stats. And the winning now has become secondary to the stats, the shot attempts, what offense you're running, how many touches, this stuff. And that's what scares me. I'm glad to some degree I'm on the tail end of my career because, we always.
No, you're not. You got 300 more. You got 300 more wins.
Yeah, I've got 300 more wins.
300 more wins in your belt that we are trying to notch it up here, Coach. But dang, that's only I forget. Yeah, we got 31 wins my year, but like you're normally looking at 20 something, 25, between 20 and 30 somewhere. Yeah, 30 is a great year, but like our good buddy, mutual friend Ed Lombard, he is the biggest Coach Martin fan, and I love him for that.
I'm a big fan of his too.
Absolutely. Oh man, he does what he says. He says what he does. He wears his heart on his sleeves. Like I know whenever I talk to Ed, man, I'm fired up about something because he loves basketball so much. He loves basketball so much.
Loves Providence. Yeah, loves Providence basketball for sure.
So like, I don't think Providence has done this yet, but I know like this is an issue at certain schools of like kids that are getting homeschooled, and not an issue, but it's a pushing point. And I see the argument. If I'm paying full tuition and my kid is going to try out for the team or whatever, like how fair is it that a kid's getting homeschooled and he can just like pop in? Like, is that a real? Because I know like Trinity baseball, they have like almost all of their kids are homeschooled, almost all of them, and they have like 9 Division I players on their team. I don't know. I just think it's a little messy.
It's a little messy, but it's going that direction, Patrick, to be honest, because, kids are in school 7 hours a day. There is some wasted time in those 7 hours. Kids are dedicated and they have great dreams. They want to go, and you could do it online now for about 4 hours, get everything done. They want to train. They want to lift. They want to become really great players.
That's what you got to do, man.
And when you look at what tennis players and golfers are doing, they have to do the same thing because they have to golf during the day. They have to play tennis during the day.
That's true.
And use that homeschool. So what you're saying is a fine line between paying customers or not. But, somewhere along the line, we should just say best players play now. Best players play and leave it at that. Not who paid and who didn't pay, but best play. And I get it.
Absolutely.
The same token, some of those kids that are paying are the ones that don't show up to all the workouts.
And they might be thinking, Coach, oh man, like, hey, parents, there is no pay to play. You do not pay that you are paying for high level coaching and an opportunity to learn how to win as a team. Sometimes, as in life, all of us, this might be a season I need to be on the bench and be a good teammate. This might be a season where I need to lead. This might be a season where I really need to submit to somebody like coaching me up and bringing effort every day. Because look, what happens in the real world when you constantly show up late for practice or for work? What happens in the real world when you are constantly disrespectful to your superior? What happens when you consistently come unprepared? I mean, Coach, how many stories of players like not bringing their jersey, not bringing their shoes or something like that, and the parents want to be mad at you for their son or doing something like that?
They want me to go out and buy them a pair of shoes or something. I have that kind of money. Jeez.
Oh, stop playing, man. What are you talking about? Four facilities in Jacksonville and all these 700 kids. And man, honestly, and I want you guys to hopefully take this. We had so you guys understand how close Coach Martin and I are. We were playing this game last week, and it's like, other than the name you call me, what would you call me? Pretty much, like, other than me calling him Coach Martin, I said Dad, because he means that much to me. That he is, and it's crazy. He coached me for 1 year. I wish it would have been longer, but like 15 years later, still as close as can be, and just so grateful for him. Like, I mean, every time I talk to Coach, I just feel he's one of those people where you spend some time with him, you feel better about the world.
You're a great guy, Patrick. We built that. That was a year that we just built the love and the foundation that literally will last a lifetime. And that's the greatest thing about sports. We're able to do this. We're in the trenches together. we figure it all out. We fight through some good times and, a few bad times or whatever. And then that bond is inseparable. And I'm so proud of you and all the great stuff you do. And you were a great leader, and you've continued to be that guy that everyone looks up to. I'm so proud of you, but this community is so proud of you too. You fought.
It's weird, man. Like I did a podcast with Pastor Joby, and he's going to have you on at some point. Okay. For sure. Pastor Joby Martin at Church of 1122, one of my favorite people in the world. And he's just like giving me all this praise, and Denny Thompson, and it's like you feel uncomfortable receiving it. I feel uncomfortable because I'm like, I know I'm not going to say what I've been doing and striving to do doesn't take work and effort and all that, but a lot of times I would just say I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I feel like I'm getting poured into. I've been poured into by a lot of great men and women, including my mom and dad, and then I want to be an extension of that, to Kyla, to the kids that I come and speak to all of those spaces. And you were a huge part in helping cultivate that for me. Coach was just like, I say, hey, Coach, I'm coming by. Let me see how camp is coming. He's like, hey, Pat. Hey, everyone. Patric Young's going to come speak to you guys right now. just throw me down. I'm like, okay, all right, we can do this. And every time, it's I learned this, and you know this. If you have the mindset, doesn't matter what you're doing. I'm trying to help people, and I'm bringing my best. You can go up and I think you can go and do anything. People see authenticity, Coach. They see when you're being fake, and they see when you're being real, because it's so hard to hold up that fake facade for too long. So I really appreciate that help there. But Coach, we're super excited for this segment. I'm going to connect with Matt Santoni. We don't have a name for it yet. We don't have a name yet for the Jim Martin JBA Tuesday. Hey, and it's going to be different. I'm warning you right now. Terry Norvelle, the first thing he's going to say when he's on the show next week, which y'all went back. I didn't know y'all knew each other so well, or from so far. He's going to be, all right, coach, enough of that. Give me some bad stories. Give me some bad stories of Patric. Give it to me.
I hired Sandra as my media consultant, so she's helping me on some of this. She'll come up with a name. Sandra.
All right, yeah, please do, Sandra. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, she'll find a name for us. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Coach, we're gonna continue to pump out JBA over the summer, getting as many kids signed up as possible. Really looking forward. Now I kind of got them forced contractually, in a sense, handshake to show up and talk to me every Tuesday. So I'm excited about that.
Come see this camp. I'm going to name a camp after you.
Don't do that. We'll collaborate. We'll collaborate. We'll collaborate.
We'll partner up. We're going to partner up on the next facility too.
Oh yeah. Oh man, without a doubt. Not making that mistake again. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the great Coach Jim Martin over there at Providence. If your kids are not signed up for a camp, you need something for them to do to get better. You really want your kids to get better and exposed to the best coaching Jacksonville has to offer. You'll want to reach out to JBA. There's four locations, so find the one that is closest to you. And this segment will be a norm. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask Coach Martin, you can message those in, and we'll have him here next Tuesday. Man, this is the Hurricanes Tuesday at Julington Creek. Well, not at Julington Creek, but you get it. Anyways, thank you, Coach. We'll catch you later. We got a few moments left of the show.
You got it. Thanks, Patrick. I'll see you.
All right. Catch you later.
Sure thing. Bye-bye.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Oh man, hoping that when we get out of there, we got 8 minutes left for the show, that it is not going to rain on me, because I'm a little fragile. But as you'll come and see on the show, we have a special guest that is joining me. He looks a lot prettier than I am, as you can imagine. Let me get this out of her face. Oh, let me make sure I'm talking into the mic. Maybe I should go. You should get on this side of me. This is Kyla.
Hi.
This is my stepdaughter, Kyla. Sorry, we're trying to figure out things out over here at the Young Norvelle show. Yeah, you're good. There you go. Take a seat. So what we're gonna do? Gosh darn it. Is that better, guys? Thank you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk some sports with young Miss Kyla Abbott, who is a student over at University Christian. She is a very, very compassionate volleyball player. So what are some, first question, and remember talking to the mic, Kyla, we're talking about volleyball here. Like, what are some common misconceptions people don't know about volleyball?
I would say a lot of people think volleyball is not really an athletic sport, because I know a lot of people that say volleyball is not an athletic sport because you don't have an as big field or court space as a lot of other sports, which is not true, because
who are these people?
A lot of people, just more people than you would guess.
Okay, because, what else you got?
Not a lot of things. Not a lot of misconceptions about.
Well, I think for one, the debate that I know in volleyball is people we are libero. What is the correct pronunciation?
I say libero.
Libero. Libero sounds better.
Almost 90% of people that play volleyball say libero.
So this is the good question. Help everyone understand the positions. What are the main positions in volleyball?
Okay, so in my opinion, the three main positions are libero, setter, and outside. Libero is on the court the entire time except for when one of the middles is serving. So libero has a different colored jersey because there's people on the bench that have to keep book on subs of people that go in and out. So
that's the primary reason for that.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why they wear a different jersey because they have a special rule. So they can play back row for two of the players, which is typically your middle, who can't play defense as well as the other players. So they will play back row for two people.
When you say play defense, does that mean like they can't be at the net?
Yes. So there is 6 rotation zones, and they can play in the back 3 zones. And they can play back row for both of those players, but they can only serve for one of them.
Look at that.
So they don't have to technically sub, they just run on and off the court. So that's why they wear a different jersey, because the people that are taking book and looking at the subs need to know that they can just run off and they don't have to sub.
Do they typically play both liberos throughout the game, or like if she comes out, it's just like to catch a quick breath? Like you have your main starter, your best libero, and then someone just kind of just relief.
Okay, so some teams have 2 liberos. This is typically a new thing. I think this only started becoming popular or allowed about 2 years ago, I think. A year or 2 ago.
This girl knows her stuff. Like, come on, y'all.
Some teams only have 1 libero, but when they have 2, typically you have a starting libero and then they switch them out. So I know teams that just switch them out throughout the game, and I know teams that do it within sets, but usually college teams only have 1 libero.
Okay, so 12 years old. She's 12 years old. And let's just think about or talk about, gosh, this thing is killing me. Let's think about your training. So what typically do you, because you let them know who you play for. She did play for, the 7th grade, 6th grade, 2nd, what grade are you in? 6th grade?
6th.
Gosh, I know this. I just forgot. The 6th grade team, which isn't technically JV, so she played for that. But she also does Skyline, correct? That's the club team. What is different about Skyline compared to what you've been doing all before that? Because you did JJVA for a moment too.
Yes. So I started playing when I was in 5th grade, and I played at JJVA, which is a club. And I just did mini club and then regular club. So mini club is like the club during school ball season. And then club is after school ball season, but you don't travel. So I did that there. It was okay, but I decided it was good. I learned some stuff, like the basics, and I decided to change to go to Skyline, which I very much love. You learn a bunch of skill-based training instead of just like doing scrimmages. We learn a bunch of different skills, a bunch of different ways to hit, and we also get to do weight training for an hour every single practice.
First thing she wanted to show me when I picked her up today, she flexed her legs and showed me these awesome quad muscles that she's starting to develop, which is pretty cool. I'm super proud of the work that she's been putting in. It's so cool to see. So this is a good question. So you are very busy. Like what would you say the priorities in your life right now are? What would you say the priorities, like what does your week typically look like? Obviously this is the last week of school, so things are going to change, like things she's done this weekend or Friday, but I want to know, like, how are you balancing everything?
Well, typically I find my priorities each day and what things I need to get done and which things I have a couple days to get done. But I have practice 2 days of the week, and I just finished softball, and I would have practice for that 3 days of the week. And then I also play piano. So I have a lot of after-school activities plus school, but I try to get most of my homework and everything done at school so I can come home and get whatever practice I need to get done there.
I went to her piano recital, and I was so mad because she looks so grown. I'm like, you're 12. You don't need to be looking like. I mean just like beautiful dress, hair done fantastically, some heels that she could barely walk in. But the most important thing is that she played excellently. So how do you, and I know this is very important to you and your family, how do you prioritize your relationship with God in the midst of all this? And that'll be the last question before we close up.
Well, I like to take my Bible time in the mornings to take some time with God. Just like do a little bit of Bible reading and like a Bible study. But I also like to pray to God throughout the day because my schedule is pretty busy.
Has that been a really cool, great tool in helping you just like keep a good perspective on everything?
Yeah, I definitely love having God in my life, and it helps me with different perspectives in the world and some of the problems that I come.
I know you're jealous. She's mine, not yours. Well, anyways, thank you guys for taking this moment to spend some time with me on the Young Norvelle show. We had some great guests. Dang, it's just Tuesday. Are you excited for school to be over?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. I'm excited for this show to be over as we're closing up here. Hopefully no rain. We appreciate all you guys that listen and support. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your night.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at BoldCityAC.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. BoldCityAC.com. And they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your